Good morning, Sunray community. I want to give a huge thank you and a shout out to the junior high cheerleaders. Yesterday, when I was sitting in the junior high pep rally, they called me out to the center of the floor and gave me a sign, a Sunray Bobcat sign, a parking sign, with their signatures on the back of it, welcoming me and my family to the community. That was very special to me. It reminds me that activities like that remind me every day why I am blessed to be able to serve as a school superintendent. So thanks to the junior high cheerleaders. One of the most impressive parts of the pep rally yesterday and of the high school pep rally and in the stands on Friday night at the football game is our band. 17 years ago, I watched the Sunray band lined up from end zone to end zone at Bivens Stadium in a marching contest. They were impressive. And my friends, we are well on that way again to be that impressive again. Mr. Hughes is doing an extraordinary job with our kids. He has the support of his wife, Miss Hughes, and he sees on a daily basis over 200 of our students a day. Now, that's nearly half of our student population from 5th grade to 12th grade is being taught by one individual. And I want to thank Mr. Hughes for what he's doing because he is exemplifying the pride of Sunray, and that band is well on his way of being one of the most impressive bands again in Region 16 of the Panhandle of Texas. He has the support of the band boosters, which they do an extraordinary job. I want to thank them for everything they do to give back to the kids in the band program. I want to give you an update on where we are on baseball and softball. We are in the process of working an interlocal agreement with the city. Once that is put in place, we hopefully will begin construction of a softball field. Hopefully by November, it will be placed, if everything is worked out with the city, next to the baseball field that's currently sitting in Greg Smith Memorial Park. So we look forward to that working relationship with the city, and we look forward to having that softball field completed by April. And then that way next spring, Sunray Bobcats and Sunray Lady Cats for the first time will be playing baseball and softball, and we look forward to sitting out there and supporting those kids. I want to give a shout out also to Lynn Cartwright and the Moore County Commissioners Court. Each year, Moore County allocates $5,000 for the Sunray FFA and the Dumas FFA chapters. We received that money this summer. We took that money, and in September, we were able to cover the hog pens, the exterior part of the hog pens where they have projects out there. And she had a little help from the school, and I mean that's Miss Alexander. This last Monday, she took a group of kids to the Commissioner's Court to thank them for providing those funds and for what they do to support the students of Sunray. So I want to thank everyone that's involved in that, and thank everyone for supporting that program, because those kids invest a lot of money in those animals, and they need a safe and secure place to keep their animals. You know, one of the things that we do every day is we take what some of us may take for granted, a group of employees that if we didn't have them, we couldn't get this thing done every day. Chad and Tina in the cafeteria, the transportation, all those folks, transportation, maintenance, custodial, cafeteria workers, they keep the wheels turning on a daily basis on the district. Those folks put a lot of hours in, and they probably the hardest working people in the district, but receive the least amount of money. And so when you see those folks, they all have uniforms now, go up and pat them on the back, because they do an extraordinary job. And I want to thank them for the pride they have and what they put back in the district. When I got to Sunray, one of the things that they asked me about was they had been talking for several years about the need of adequate housing in the district. And I've been involved in 3 other districts where we had school housing. And so we began to look at that. And in July, we accepted a bid for the construction of 4 ready-built homes being built in Lubbock, Texas. Ready-built are pier and beam homes. Those are brick homes, 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes being built. They will be setting by March and April. They'll be put into Sunray, and the school district received a donation of 4 acres in Taylor Estates facing 3rd Street. We'll be placing those homes very similar to the way the homes are placed now due to the deed restrictions. So people begin to ask, and if you don't know the details about that, I'm going to give you a quick summation of why it is a very positive thing to have for the school district. First of all, it is an incentive that the school district controls for employees, and it's a recruitment tool for families. when we go out and start looking for teachers. A lot of the districts around us have school housing, and because they have identified the fact that in their smaller communities, it's hard for people to move in and either buy a home right when they get there or find adequate rent homes. And a lot of the rental property in Sunray is taken. So we had a lot of employees that drive in on a day-to-day basis in the Sunray, and they drive because they want to be part of our community. And so we begin to look at the financial side about that. Sunray bounces between a Chapter 41 and a Chapter 42 school district. And what that means is Chapter 41 is property wealthy. Chapter 42 is property poor. Anytime you become a Chapter 41, you're subject to recapture, which that means that when you're subject to recapture, a part of your property tax revenue goes back to the state of Texas in what's called Robin Hood, the old Robin Hood law. And one of the ways that you retain that money and it's not subject to recapture is you pass a bond, and we've done that. So every penny paid on the bond is not subject to recapture. The other thing is we watch our taxable value. I have no control over the assessed value of the district. I have control over the tax rate. And so we begin to look at how we can, if we go and we buy homes off, take them off the tax roll, then that decreases our overall value. But how can we put homes in place and increase our revenue stream without increasing our overall tax value? The way you do that is the school district goes out and they buy homes. It doesn't decrease what's currently on the tax value, but it doesn't add to the tax value, therefore keeping us from being a property wealthy school district. Now, those 4 homes combined that we will be setting would generate, if they were on the tax roll, a combined about $15,000. Because we are going to be renting those homes and taking that and receiving those funds directly out of the employee's paycheck that lives in those homes, those 4 homes are going to generate around $42,000 a year in revenue for the district. It's pure revenue. It's not subject to the state of Texas for recapture. It doesn't increase our tax value, and it is a true incentive for employees. And it is an incentive the district owns and controls. So that is part of the reason why the board moved forward to putting those homes in place. Those homes should be in by March and April, and as we move through that process, I will keep you updated on that. If you ever have any questions about that, please do not hesitate to ask me. I'll be glad to fill you in and provide those answers for you. Tonight, I invite you to come out and support the Spearman FFA chapter. They're going to be raising funds as one of their fundraisers. They're going to be feeding, I believe, barbecue. I'm going to be eating there. And so come on out, and this is their homecoming. We want to support our neighbors in Spearman. But we also want to go over there and trample those Spearman team with the Bobcats, and we're going to be heading over and doing that tonight. So come on out, support everybody, be part of those Friday night lights. And once again, I want to thank you. Each and every day I get up, and I'm thankful to be able to serve as your school superintendent. And always remember, it is a great day to be a Bobcat.